early for the dealers come out. Everybody is outside till the killers come out. You ain't eating, you just act full. I'm impactful. Dozen funerals in a month, I got that full. I will give it to niggas in all rap forms. Ignatius out right now on all platforms.
What's going on, everybody? A familiar face is back. Someone that a lot of y'all say, when are you going to bring that woman back? Yes, folks, I have the greatest, worst nightmare to white men, an educated black woman that looked good. Lena, how you doing today?
Hello. Hi, everybody.
Folks, we've got some heavy topics to cover today. We're going to talk about the shooting in Minnesota. Should black people care or not? Most of y'all that know me know what I'm going to say, but I'm interested to hear what Lena has to say because the backbone of our society has been black women. We're also going to talk about this wealth gap that just continues to get bigger as we are pawns in the hands of about 10 people. Ladies and gentlemen, 10 people in America have more money than the bottom 68%. And y'all think that's cool? It's not. We're going to discuss that. And we're also going to talk about TikTok and what they're doing to left politics, or should I just say, Lena, truth politics.
Yeah.
Another effort to keep the rich rich and keep dumb poor people who don't want education, because it comes down to that, stuck in this hamster wheel. As we get started, ladies and gentlemen, I will shout everybody out. Hey, everybody, this is the Politics of Being Black section of my channel. The part that y'all really don't want is the vegetables that y'all need. It gives you the things to help yourselves grow, because if you don't do politics, politics will do you. Having said that, Lena, what a week. And what is it that you've had it with?
I don't know if you've seen the interview, like the podcast with Evelyn Lozada and The Game and her daughter. I've had it with that. I've had it with her. Cancel the podcast. Celebrities, just let the regular people do it, okay? Stop telling on yourselves, all right? At this point, it's got to be a humiliation ritual. You're not doing this because you want to. You can't tell me you are.
So I didn't see the podcast, but I know who Evelyn is because, you know, obviously I've dated black women, and over the years, black women have watched those shows, and I know the guy because I kept up with that too. But what was said on this podcast, and are you familiar that she used to be dating Chad Ochocinco?
Yes, that's one thing she makes sure to parade herself around about. She's very proud about that, so good for her. But you asked me what specific in the podcast happened that's getting a lot of backlash. Okay, yeah. So first, it's this weird thing with her daughter where her daughter says, you know, she finally comes to the realization that The Game has gamed her, okay? That he's basically impregnated her with he didn't have any like commitment to her. He didn't want to actually have a family, and he's had previous families, okay? So she comes to this realization, and the whole time Evelyn is sitting there laughing. She's not taking it seriously. And it just really shows how, you know, when your mother is like young-minded and, you know, she doesn't grow up, it kind of leads you down a certain path where when you start to have realizations on your own, you realize exactly what your parent is lacking. So I think that's what's happening in that case.
Wow. I mean, you said something that could be so ratchet. You said it in such an educated, polished tone as if you was giving a speech at Ivy League school. Well said. Now I got to bring the ratchet. Do you feel like this? I've had it with it too, but what I want to know is, do you feel like this is hype for the podcast, or do you feel like this is like part of their real life?
I think it's actually part of their real life. And the only reason I think that it's just highlighting part of their real life is because he attended Evelyn's baby shower. So even if they weren't close friends, this is a long-standing relationship where he at least knew of her as a child at some point. And that's where it just makes it so strange.
Oh, and you are talking about the rapper, The Game, right?
Yeah, the rapper.
Okay. So basically, we've got a little bit of Epstein files going on here. It's just that it's the great value black version of the Epstein files going on. Or what's that guy named Woody Allen that married his adopted stepdaughter?
Yes, very gross, very awful.
I'm not going to defend men, and I don't want to defend men. But oftentimes when people do crazy things, you want to know what's the driving force behind it. And it's simple as this: men just want to get their penis. They just want to get they just want to get their rocks off. And something young and hot, a lot of men feel this power dynamic the younger the woman is. And then they also feel like they can shape and mold those little young minds so that they can do what they want to do without the mind that they shape wandering somewhere else. And you oftentimes see this, like, Game's got to be older than me, or at least my age. Evelyn has definitely got to be my age. And I know she played a villain at times on her show, but it doesn't matter to me if you're playing a villain or not. It's reality TV, and there are a lot of people that believe this shit is real the way some of these white dudes believe WWE is still real. And I think that at some point in time, you owe it to society to help say, call the spade, and talk about what would be a better behavior. How old is the daughter?
The daughter is in her 30s, I believe.
Oh, well, never mind. I should just shut up. Because for some reason, I thought the daughter was like 22 or something like that.
No,
but
I think she's in her 30s.
Okay, well, I'm going to take all that back, because at 30, women mature way faster than men. So once you hit 30, you pretty much can date anybody you want to up to age 70. However, I'm going to say this. It does lead to be very creepy if he was around when the child was like a baby and stuff like that. That does make it, that adds to an element of weirdness. And I've seen men do worse. Oftentimes, our little head is what always gets us in trouble. And usually the trouble is not even worth it. So, Evelyn, you could at least just call out the weird parts. I support your "you've had it." Now, what do I want to say I've had? You know what I've had it with? I've had it with snow and ice. I've had it.
Oh, yes.
I've had it. For those of you that don't know, I was in a car accident due to the ice on Sunday. My little blue Tesla got towed away today. And what makes me so mad, this is the second time we've had an ice situation where either my hybrid car or my fully electric car gets into an accident. Really not my fault. What can I say? I just want people to be careful. Literally, if you do not have to leave your home when it's a snowstorm, stay home. I don't care if you got a 4x4. I don't care if you got chains you can put on your tires. If you live in an area that's not used to snow, I'm not talking about my folks in Michigan or Wisconsin or Connecticut, Maine. I know y'all get more snow than the North Pole. I get it. So y'all used to it. But North Carolina and South Carolina, we can't do it here. So having said that, Lena, what do you think about my "I've had it"? And you live in a place that don't get a lot of snow.
Yes, but I moved from Indiana, so I very much so second your "I had it." I'm not going back. I seen them get buried in all that snow, and I was feeling great in 70-degree weather. So I love that for me.
See, Black people, you see what we have to deal with. You know what I'm saying? They come up here looking pretty, right? Hair all curly, teeth so white I can see my reflection and all, and then just shove it in your side nice and slow. Oh, I like my 73-degree weather. I live close to California. Moving right along, y'all post your comments. What have you had it with? It can be politics, it can be anything going on in the world. What have you had it with? Before we go, let me read you a comment, Lena. You can answer it or comment to it. It's Miss Nicey, 2953. Evelyn should have schooled her daughter about the game and the games men play. That wasn't a good podcast for Evelyn and her daughter. Any thoughts you want to say about that, Lena?
I completely agree, especially when she obviously had a long-standing relationship with him, at least knowing him in the industry. She knew about him. So as soon as she found out that her daughter was in contact with him, she should have gave it to her straight. You know, this is who he is. This is what will happen to you, you know, just so that she could be more protective of herself. So I completely agree.
I do too. And I'm a man. And oftentimes I'm on the counter end of male-oriented patriarchy conversations because I don't really believe in all that. I do have my small quirks, but I'm 100% with the women on this one. 100, because you can do better. That's all I can say. You can do better. All right. Now that we've got the fun stuff over with, Lena, let's get into the heavy stuff.
Okay.
So we had a shooting in Minnesota, another cold place. And it's not just been one shooting by ICE, the new KKK, the rioters that have been anointed as government workers. They've shot a white lady. They've shot this Hispanic guy. But what's making the news are the Anglo-Saxons they've been shooting. They just shot a guy named Alex Pretti. Big news. I'll give you the story. But first, I want to kind of talk about the fallout. So I have a large following in a couple of places. Facebook is one of them, but I've kind of limited that one. Lena, let me post to you something. This is what bothers me about MAGA and Trumpers. I always tell people it's not Trump that's the problem. It's the people that follow him that as a collective group cause trouble and can vote for dummies like him. That's the problem. Let me let you see what this girl said on Facebook, and I just couldn't let it go. And I blocked out her name for privacy, even though I shouldn't. Although this is sad, the F around, you know what it means, and find out, got shot. The reality of what was going on is not shown in all or most of the videos people are posting. What reality? First of all, Lena, I got to stop. First of all, that's what got me right there. Lena, that is someone who watches WWE and believes that shit. Okay, let me get back to it. In today's climate in the streets, this guy decided he was going to challenge a law enforcement officer. Well, didn't work out too well for him, sadly. Okay. Now, Lena, I couldn't take that because I'm already on edge because my car messed up and all the other things going on in my life. So I had to reply. I said this. You see up there? Oh, God, I meant to hide her name. Fuck it. Never mind. Anyway, you see up there it says Lamont Tyson. No, the guy had rights that were violated by untrained, no background check thugs. He was helping a lady and then killed after being tackled by 6 thugs. If you think that's okay, you can't be calling yourself a Christian or decent human being. Okay? Now, then she jumps back in here and replies, he forfeited those rights when he failed to comply with the law enforcement officer. Where have we heard that? Where have Black people heard that before? Okay, where have we heard that type of speak before? You know, let me finish it. Your thinking and his thinking is exactly what got him killed. Another myth. The lack for years of respect for the laws in the what? Okay, okay. First of all, this bitch is saying our lack of respect for the laws. Lena, how many felonies does her president have?
Many, ongoing list, honestly.
At least 34. Okay, so ongoing lack of respect for laws, and the guy you voted for has 34 felonies. Stop it. Let me finish it and get on. Because these people aren't going to stop till they finish the job they were hired to do. I guess until people like you have, and I just couldn't take no more of it. I couldn't take no more of it. Finish the job they were hired to do, which is kill anybody who's poor, no matter what the color, no matter what the creed. And I'm sure this chick ain't got a lot of money. It just hasn't hit her doorstep yet. And so, Lena, let's take a look at the video that she claims this guy was trying to stop law enforcement. He wasn't listening to law enforcement. And I guess in her world, you don't have rights. So if the law enforcement tells you to get on the knees and baby, please, you're supposed to do that, right? If you don't comply with that, you're not complying, is what this bitch is saying. So let's take a look at this, ladies and gentlemen. For context, if you find anywhere where this man violated the law, please let me know. Take a look, Lena.
At least 3 minutes before Alex Pretti was shot and killed, he is seen at 8:58 a.m. Saturday holding his phone at a distance from immigration enforcement officers in an apparent attempt to record a nearby arrest. An eyewitness captured this video of Pretti filming the arrest. At no point does he appear to display a weapon. A minute later, Pretti appears to be using his phone to record two bystanders interacting with a federal officer before that officer is seen shoving one of them across the street.
Do not push them into the traffic.
Another camera angle shows the officer shove one of those individuals into Pretti. You can see the two holding on to each other. The confrontation escalates. Both of Pretti's hands are visible. One holds the phone, the other he held up seemingly to protect himself from pepper spray.
Whoa!
Pretti is seen being pepper sprayed. 3 officers grapple with him until he's taken down and held on the frozen pavement. Another group of officers then surrounds him. At 9:01, the federal officer in a gray jacket emerges from the scrum with a gun that appears to match the one Pretti had a permit to carry. Almost simultaneously, the first shot is fired. Officers step back. Within 5 seconds, 9 more shots, and soon after, the officer is heard. Pretti died at the scene. Now, almost immediately, the Trump administration declared the shooting justified. Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem said Pretti assaulted officers and intended to kill law enforcement. That's despite an eyewitness account filed under oath, Robin, contradicting the secretary's version.
And our own eyes seeing it for ourselves as well.
And before any investigation.
Yeah.
Lena, before we continue on, please tell me, what was it that girl saw on Facebook that we missed? What did, because clearly ICE pushed a woman into him. Literally, that can be considered assault on their behalf. They pushed a woman into him. You had a camera angle all around. His hands was up, one hand was on the camera. Please, Lena, tell me, where was the no complying? Where was that at?
It wasn't in the video, and people just make up their own picture so that they don't have to accept accountability for the fact that they voted wrong, that they chose wrong, that what they're doing isn't right. So they will make up their own picture or their own description of what happened as opposed to looking at the truth. She just doesn't care about the truth. She's an awful person.
Speaking of awful people, there's another awful person. This one is not poor and believes in the Bible for everything, and it uses the Bible as an excuse to get away with everything. This one is actually rich. So this one has a different vantage point in her stupidity. So let us go to the rich bitch this time. Take a look at what this one had to say, Lena.
Okay.
It's sickening.
I know I'm supposed to feel sorry for Alex Pretti, but I don't. I don't. Do you know why I wasn't shot by Border Patrol this weekend? Because I kept my ass inside and out of their operations. It's very simple. If I felt strongly enough about something the government was doing that I would go out and protest, I would do it peacefully on the sidewalk without interfering, via a whistle, via shouting, via my body, via any other way. I would make my objections known by standing there without interfering, because interfering is where you go south. And laying hands on a police officer trying to, or Border Patrol officer or ICE officer trying to conduct a law enforcement operation is a felony. And now you are going to get arrested. And if you do anything that resembles resisting, you're in serious trouble. Doesn't?
Okay.
Lena, let's try to dissect that word salad and break down this human being. That's Megyn Kelly. For those of you that don't know, she had a TV show. She was on Fox. She still has those mindsets. Let's just break down what she said so we can really understand what is in that square-shaped head of hers with that fake-ass hair that she robbed a horse of. Let's talk about that, Lena. Number one, did you hear her say that if there was something she wanted to protest the government, that she would be out there protesting? So the very fact that these people are getting killed, for no reason by ICE, doesn't bother her. That's number one. She said that, not me. She said that. Number two, she ain't going to no protest anyway because she has no courage. She's rich. She gets to sit in that podcast room thinking that she's safe for now. But what people forget, Lena, Nazi Germany, all the rich people was caking up for the evil people and Hitler, and eventually Hitler came for them too. But they tend to forget about that shit. Okay, but I digress. That's problem number 2 with her. And number 3, you remember when Charlie Kirk died? Mm-hmm. How we said it was sad that he died. Mm-hmm. It was wrong that he died. But his own words are part of the blame. She said we was lying about that too when we could pull up video of him saying we need, if people got to die to save my Second Amendment rights, have at it. So, Lena, what do you think of these people just make, and then let me finish this word salad too. She went up in there and said, if you assault an officer. Now, let me tell you how people try to wiggle their way and do word salad that are on TV and have these national mediums. If somebody checks her on that, she's going to say, I wasn't saying him. I was just talking about anyone that might impede law enforcement. Clearly, bitch, you was talking about him because your followers are so damn dumb. They're going to think that he did it. Not this word salad shit that I'm sure you're going to backtrack. But Lena, the floor is yours. I had to get that off my chest. What is wrong with people? Do they really think that these folks won't ever come for them?
Yeah, I think she doesn't think that they'll come for her because she's delusional and ignorant, very, very much so ignorant. This is the same woman that made the statements about the Epstein case, I believe, where she was talking about the age of the victims as if it matters. So she's always been delusional. She's always been dumb. She's always been a bitch. And she's always had that stupid long head of hers. And she really just needs to go somewhere else. Sorry. That's just it. I can't even make too much commentary on her because I'm tired of the clowns. Get them out of here.
Yeah, that, you know what? That's a whole nother segment of I've Had It. And sadly, I went and looked at that video, like her video on her YouTube. 400,000 people have watched it.
Of course. Yeah. They love drama.
400. Well, I don't know if it's 400,000 people, but she's got 400,000 views.
Yeah.
Why is it? Well, part of it is education. But it bothers me that people are so willing to be marred in hate, Lena, that they'll accept a hate sandwich more than getting their bills paid, more than reducing the price of the bread to make your sandwich, more than a better lifestyle. They're willing to hate on another group, blame another group for their problems, and then run around talking about they believe in freedom. What's up with that?
One thing about social media is a lot of people like that hate because that hate gets them attention. So they'll constantly go and rage bait because they know that the haters almost give you more attention than the people that actually love you. They're going to leave a comment. They're going to share to people. They're going to say, look at what this person said because they disagree. So a lot of people are feeding themselves and their families off rage baiting people.
Well, Lena, maybe I want to say maybe I should do that, but it's not in me. I'm too much of an activist. I just can't do that. Like, it would be easy. I always tell people, failed Black dudes who can't make it in life, the way they make their money, they jump on YouTube and start supporting Republicans. Yeah. They make a living. Mm-hmm. All of them. Mm-hmm. Every single one of them. And like, there's dudes who started YouTube back in like 2013 when I started, hated Republicans, but none of their content could get moved. They couldn't get their fitness content moving. They couldn't get their financial content moving. They put up a video when they kind of disagreed with Democrats on something that Republicans love. Next thing I know, they talking about woke is bad.
Yeah. In the age of awakening, mind you. We're in the age of awakening.
I call this the age of delightment. It's supposed to be the age of awakening, but wow. Post y'all comments, man. Let me know what y'all think about that, because it's sad that people can watch a whole video and their takeaway is that this man done something wrong. It's sad. It's filled with bias. These are people that, for whatever reason, don't think ICE will ever come for them. And Lena, I fear that you're going to have a whole lot of people start bringing guns to this fight because they're sick of it. And it does not seem like the Democrats are doing anything. The Democrats seem feckless. Let me tell you something I'm tired of from the Democrats, Lena. I'm tired of strongly written letters. How about you?
I am very much so tired of that. They haven't really made any moves in the courthouses that I expected them to make in order to block the Republicans from doing a lot of things they've done. So at this point, they're just talking to hype up the crowd. Behind the scenes, they're all together. It's like mommy and daddy. You know, daddy makes the rules. Mommy is pretending like she's enforcing them. But behind the scenes, she agrees with dad. You know, you're going to do what this person says. They're in power. So I'm tired of their games as well.
And I always tend to call the political parties mommy and daddy. Mm-hmm. Which one you think is daddy?
I feel like the Republicans are daddy.
100%. 100%.
I hate saying that out loud.
100%. The Republican Party is the dad, and the one who always has to clean up the mess, and the one who is the Mother Earth, is the Democrats, the woman, the mom. And eventually, Mother Earth is going to take over, but it's just sad that we got to go through this turmoil and this Stockholm syndrome that we're dealing with from these idiots and bots. And now we're going to be dealing with more bots, which brings me to the next story. Y'all see how I did that transition? TikTok. I met Lena on TikTok because she went very deep on a subject where people say tax the rich, and you never hear anybody say what else you need to do to shore up that money getting taxed is going to be for the benefit of the people and paying down the debt. So Lena is a deep thinker. You know, she's profound for y'all that want me to use big words, not cuss words. She's very profound. Lena has noticed over the couple of weeks that TikTok has been throttling her content. I haven't been on TikTok that long, Lena. I've been on TikTok maybe 2 years. And when I first got up there, I was so high. I got to 11,000 subscribers, Lena, on TikTok literally in 6 months. Mm-hmm. And then once I decided to start talking about politics, kabloom.
Yeah.
I'm getting 200 views, 300 views, if that. Mm-hmm. So now a deal with TikTok has been reached, Lena, with Oracle, Larry Ellison, who controls other media outlets from BET, isn't that sad, and some others.
Yeah, that's awful.
To the point where they are now banning, kicking off, and censoring videos that even mention the name Epstein. Take a look at this, Lena, and then we've got to just talk about that because we've got to tell people what can they do.
So TikTok is massively cracking down on any news creators, any political creators, journalists, and more. It is really bad over there. And I just want to come on here because I'm going to double down, triple down efforts here on Instagram to get the truth out, to get the news out to millions of people. Right now, what we're seeing on TikTok ahead of, I believe, January 22nd, when the deal is supposed to be finalized, is a very, very scary thing. People's videos are being taken down. They're not being recommended. It is real life censorship, and we're seeing it happen in real time. So I'm here. I'm posting a lot more here. Also on my YouTube and my Substack, both linked to my bio. Get ready. And yes, I am spending all day in bed because that is how, and I'm having pasta and pizza. So pretty good night.
Okay, we need to hear about your dinner dates, your dinner plans, and all that, brother. Because some of us trying to diet. But anyway, I get what you're saying. And so, Lena, when you hear that, because I built up a pretty big audience, people always say, Lamont, what are some things I should do with my social media? And I always say you should dub it somewhere else. You need to have at least 3 of these joints, or you need to have a private place where you can host your content and drive traffic to some kind of a hosting site that you pay for. But having said that, Lena, have you noticed that pretty much all your good content where you're telling the truth, everything's factual, has been kind of banned or shadow banned?
Yes. So a lot of my videos on my platform recently have been shadow banned, and I actually made a video on Epstein and just the boys in that case. And it actually ended up going viral. It has like a couple million views or something. And ever since then, I noticed it was like a suppression in my views, in my shares. And sometimes even when I'd be noticing the amount of shares, like it'll be, I actually started counting because it got ridiculous. My post would sit at like 2 shares, but I'm counting 10, 20, 30, 40 people sharing my post. So right now they said it's a server issue or something like that. Like TikTok is supposed to adjust within a certain period of time. But one thing I've noticed is if you are talking about real topics, they are suppressing your videos. Unless you're dancing or doing something of that manner, your traffic on your page is very slow down. Yeah. So it's a mess.
When TV and music was really taking off, the rich white dudes that own these industries were setting the narratives then. A lot of people think that the proliferation of hip hop was because of Black people. The creativity and the artists in hip hop was Black people, but the people that was proliferating it were white guys who saw an industry that they thought would be a niche to make money. And sadly, that niche went beyond us into the homes of their damn kids. And then they wanted to all of a sudden say, we need to quit listening to that damn rap music. Mind you, they don't want to talk about the heavy metal shit. They be talking about drinking acid and going to hell in a handbasket. They don't talk about that. But anyway, I digress. I'm bothered by this, Lena, because that same concept is happening again. Not only is Oracle owned by one of the richest people in the world, his son, Larry Ellison, is the CEO of Paramount, and they are trying to actively buy WB and its assets. They buy WB, then now they control CNN too. CNBC, CNN, it's already said that they own BET.
Yeah.
And me and you have seen the erosion of BET. No knock on Tyler Perry and all them, but they don't do enough nowadays of profiles in Blackness, profiles in what we go through, profiles in our music. The name of the station is not Black Entertainment Music, it's Black Entertainment, period. All of it. And they used to have some education behind the things that they do that nowadays they would call woke, that was really insightful, helping people to understand what democracy really means for us, how it pertains to us, and where we can go to exercise things and build. Lena, they not doing. You get a full stream of Tyler Perry, I feel like 24/7 on BET.
Yeah, it's all Tyler Perry. It's like the Tyler Perry network.
Yeah, dude, come on, man. Yeah, thank you. Like, come on, you can do better than that. Lord help, golly, just all Tyler Perry. So, having said that, Lena, with these two issues and the issues that we're dealing with, as a Black woman, as someone who is the backbone of society, someone who's very versed, someone who's going through a lot of things, you've seen a lot of things, you're very wise. Should Black people be concerned about this fight that's going on with ICE and Anglo-Saxons, considering we've been telling them for years, since Jim Crow, since the KKK, then the KKK, once the law kind of cracked down on them, they go get jobs working as the police and the sheriff doing the same damn thing. George Floyd, for crying out loud, happened right up there. Should Black people be concerned about this, or should we just turn a blind eye and say, we've been trying to tell you, it's y'all fight?
Black people should absolutely be concerned about this, because when these types of things happen, like these types of injustices, it doesn't have a trickle up effect. Okay. It's a trickle down effect, trickle down, So when they start doing things, even in foreign countries, to anybody that's considered an outsider, if you are part of a minority group, you should be concerned. Not only that, if they're going to stereotype off of looks and everything, I don't know if people notice, but there are immigrants from everywhere, from, Haiti, from, Africa, from Southeast Asian countries, even from European countries. That means that they can stop anyone in this country if we let this progress. This isn't even a Black or a white issue. This is every issue that we all need to come together and figure out how we're going to make sure that they're abiding by our constitutional rights.
Wow. Girl, you know what? The networks is about to come for Lena, man. Wow, well said, my sister. Well said. Just don't forget about me when you blow up, okay? Don't drag me along the finish line with you, okay? Well said. And I 100% agree. And I'll just add to what she's saying. The plight of Black people, even though it hurts right now, even though we've been trying to tell white people, the white people we've been trying to tell most likely have been right there fighting with us. It's not the white people, it's not those white people. It's kind of the richy white people that would go and tell you, well, I only vote Republican because it's fiscal policy. That bullshit. Those are the white people that we're talking to. Those that, if it doesn't bother me, I'm just worried about my pocketbook, and that's all I care about. It's a costing you too now. And Black people, none of the progress we would have made would have come without the help of white people. White people that have sacrificed for us. Now, this progress is very slow, I know. But hopefully the next Democrat to get the presidency and the Senate will wield the power the way Trump has. I do not want to see a president get up there and be kowtowing to corporations and be trying to do this word salad double speak shit. No. Bull in a china shop for the rights of the working class, for the rights of the middle class. Hell, middle class nowadays, you could be making $100,000, and in some places that ain't even middle class, folks. We need those rights protected. And Lord have mercy, we done lost our special guest. Uh-oh. Folks, that can be only one of several things. She was either on that JMO internet, or her phone died, or her apparatus that she was using died to stream. So we'll get her back in here next week. Don't worry about that. Post your comments. Let me know what you think. Should we continue to fight for this? I think we don't have a choice. We have to. We cannot sit on our laurels and not support our people that have been out there supporting us. We've got to support them. Last thing we're going to cover here, ladies and gentlemen, this wealth gap. Look at that. Uh-oh, she's back. Uh-oh, she's back, ladies and gentlemen. Y'all just don't have to deal with mediocre looks anymore. Now you've got the good looks back. You're back, Lena. We're glad to have you.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. I honestly, my phone has just been glitching. So sorry, guys.
Hey, y'all, she got TikTok on her phone. They already messing around with her phone. They already playing with her. But Lena, I'm glad you're back, because this is the last subject we're going to talk about today. Then we will let you out of here, let you speak, say what you want to say about anything. Okay. Lena, look at this. This is pathetic. Like this is pathetic. 3 Americans own more wealth than the bottom 50%. Elon Musk, who's on his way to being a trillionaire, Jeff Bezos, and Mark Zuckerberg. Lord. Lena, we talked about how we need to tax them. And we kind of talked about the loopholes you've got to seal up so that they can't wiggle their asses out of it. When you see this kind of graphic, Lena, what immediately pops in your mind?
What immediately pops in my mind is soon American people, or just people around the world, we're not going to be able to keep up. We're not going to be able, if all these people consolidate the wealth and then they replace what they used to have us do, which is the jobs, where does that leave a lot of these people in the middle? We don't have a place in society. So it's very alarming to me.
At one point in time, these guys was pushing universal income when they was Democrats. Now that they done got with Trump and they done got a taste, I'm assuming Trump and the white dudes got in their ear and was like, all you got to do is pretend like you believe in a higher power and say that everything you do is in the name of Jesus, and then say it's in the name of capitalism, and then you can get the money and you get the power. And these idiots don't know that we using socialism, because we don't call it socialism. We call it tax breaks. We call it incentives. We call it incentives to move in California, incentives to move in Texas. You dumbasses, it's called socialism. That's what it's called. Yeah. And while they're taking it away from you, they're enriching themselves, and then they sock that money away in assets that can't be taxed. So Lena, on top of what we talked about taxing them, I'm going to need somebody to bring up this conversation. And the only person I see that's has the balls to do it will be Mamdani. Somebody has got to talk about going after unrealized gains from these equities that these guys hold. Those billions that they're showing, that's not all liquid money. Most of that is held in stock assets. And if people and hedge funds and institutions are rotating in and out of these equities, you know it's going to go up. And the average stocks in America go up 10% a year. If you are worth $1 billion, Democrats need to put something in place where that billion is times 10 years of what you think forward earnings would be, and you stay in front of it. Just stay in front of it. And then you got to put a law in place so that they can't keep doing this bull jive of taking out loans and paying 2% on this money and not having to pay any taxes. Yeah. Because they are literally using everybody below them who pays income tax. They take it directly out of your check to fund their shit. Mm-hmm. And then they go hide the money. So they don't want you educated, Lena, because the average Joe Blow really believes in that bullshit of trickle-down economics when he doesn't know that once this money gets locked up into their assets, there's no more trickle-down. It's cut. From there, they're just loans. That's it. There's no more trickle-down. There's no more government getting any of it. Once that money gets into an appreciating asset, that money is locked by these rich people. Lena, cuss me out and tell me I'm crazy.
No, you're not crazy. And I want to bring up something. It was, I talked about this topic before. I don't know if I said this last week, but I was saying that one thing that they could do was across states. It would have to be multiple states where they're implementing the same policies. So in Florida recently, one of the politicians proposed that if the billionaires do move to Florida and they try to buy up all these property, that they're going to carry whatever taxes that California was going to put on them. So this is the first time we really kind of see them making active moves to stop, them from being able to create their own loophole. So I just wanted to mention that.
Yeah, I love that. And for those that are following us and don't understand what we're saying, because when politicians talk about taxes, Lena, they never say what taxes. Yeah. So it's easy for them to fool the people that just go pay tithes and offering and just want to go drink a beer after church and don't understand nothing.
Yeah.
There's several taxes, people. You have a federal tax, and then most places have a state tax. Florida is one that doesn't have a state tax. Mm-hmm. California does. Mm-hmm. New York does. Texas doesn't. But here's the kicker. What two states you think contribute the most money to the federal government that these guys are pillaring and trying to move away from? New York and California.
Yeah, I was going to say California. Yeah.
New York and California contribute the most money to the federal government. And now these guys are trying to go run to states that don't have state income taxes. Now and the reason why they don't have state income taxes, people, is because it's pushed into policies and taxes that makes everybody pay. It's almost like a consumption tax. You're paying for toll roads. Your sales tax is a little increased. They force the tax that they would normally make the rich person pay on everybody, which is nothing but socialism that y'all claim y'all hate so much. Mm-hmm. Y'all okay with socialism if it's taking money out of your pocket, but you're not okay if that money that comes out of your pocket can't get reinvested back into you. Lena, make it make sense.
It doesn't. It makes no sense. No logic.
The only logic I can come up with, Lena, is Stockholm Syndrome. That's all I can come up with. That's all I can come up with. And folks, we'll get you out of here on that. But I've got one more comment about Meghan, I robbed a horse, Kelly. So she said that if Alex would have stayed home, period, nothing would have happened to him. Kind of like blame the victim. Now, do you think she's going to tell her daughter when she's 21, honey, if the girl goes to the club and she's wearing those tight ass yoga pants that pleat in the butt crack the way girls wear in the gym nowadays, if she wears that to the club and somebody, God forbid, or willing forbid, touches her wrongly, grabs a handful of the butt, or does something worse, is Megyn Kelly going to say to her daughter, well, you shouldn't have worn something so revealing and you should have stayed your ass at home? You think that's what she's going to say to that daughter?
Yeah. I feel like she would, because she's delusional and crazy. I feel like that she would blame her daughter 100% because I think she's horrible. I think she'd be like, well, what were you wearing? She seems like one of those type of women, the same way she did with those children. She's psychotic.
I don't think she would say that to her daughter.
Man.
I think she would come up with some bull jive, but let the record show this is the same woman who tried to downplay pedophilia with the Epstein files. So, ladies and gentlemen, put that in your pipe and smoke it all the way through the alveoli of your lung. I gotta let y'all know I'm still a respiratory therapist. I ain't forgot none of that stuff. And before we get out of here, Lena, what parting words do you have for the people? What are you going to be doing on TikTok? What can they expect from you between now and next week if you decide to come back up here?
Okay. Well, I want to thank everybody for joining us. Thank you guys for all the comments and the support. We really appreciate you. I'm going to be releasing more content just covering news in the area because recently ICE just started a big crackdown in Phoenix. So I will be putting a lot of content about what's happening with that and the military drills in my area. And I will be posting to my YouTube. So just keep watch, guys.
Well, first of all, Lena, we got to say for you, be safe. Because you've already seen what they're doing. And so far, it hasn't been too many of us that they have accosted. Mm-hmm. But I hate to say this, but it's real. After what has just happened and the backlash Trump and the administration are getting for killing these white people, I just got a feeling he's going to go back to the old faithful, get those niggers. Don't shoot the white people, get those niggers. Yeah. Because you know, there ain't gonna be too many white folks can't relate to the niggers. So you go shoot the niggers and we'll be okay. So you be okay. You be easy out there, Lena. You be easy. You are their worst nightmare. Okay. We're just gonna make sure you do that. And having said that, ladies and gentlemen, we are out of here. Don't forget to like the video, comment, subscribe. I will be right back in a little bit for House of the Dragon. I had to give y'all the broccoli first. Then we can give y'all the sweet potato. Till that next Sex is Hell video.
Somebody's bleach blonde, bad built butch body. Somebody's bleach blonde, bad built butch body. Somebody's bleach blonde, bad built butch body.